Leeds fans, stop scrolling right now. Elland Road just got rocked by breaking news. And one fact is already on the table. £8 million, a managerial sack inches closer. A defensive target emerges from Austria. And a striker's future just exposed a massive gap in Farke's plan. Insiders warned us last night, and here's the first payoff. That £8 million figure. It's the exact price tag Leeds slapped on a goal machine they're now refusing to recall while sitting 18th in the Premier League. If you bleed white more than you hate Manchester United, hit like and subscribe right now. We start with the managerial chaos that has the entire championship buzzing about Leeds' return. Stay locked, there's a double cliffhanger at the end. Midnight whispers at Elland Road. Closed doors. Board members pacing corridors after another defeat, and one name keeps surfacing in conversations that Daniel Farke isn't supposed to hear. The potential replacement? Someone Leeds fans will rage over. The name. Gary O'Neill. And here's why this changes everything. O'Neill has been out of work since Wolves sacked him in December 2024, and now TalkSport reports he's emerged as a genuine contender to replace Farke at Leeds United. Let that sink in. Leeds are 18th in the Premier League, 4 consecutive defeats. And the board's answer might be a manager with a record of 31 wins, 17 draws, and 52 losses. From 100 games in management, that's a win percentage that makes supporters nervous. But here's the twist. O'Neill isn't being considered because of his win rate. He's being eyed as a survival specialist. The Englishman kept Bournemouth up in 2023 after replacing Scott Parker mid-season, then repeated the trick at Wolves in 2024, joining both clubs when they were in the relegation zone and dragging them to safety. The board sees that and thinks maybe he's the man to keep Leeds in the top flight. But supporters remember how things unraveled at Molineux. Quality squad, tactical flexibility, and yet Wolves managed just 2 wins from 16 Premier League matches before pulling the trigger. Now imagine that same manager inheriting a Leeds squad low on confidence, sitting in the drop zone, and facing Chelsea next. The pressure would be instant. O'Neill would need time to implement his philosophy, time Leeds don't have, and he'd need to win over a fan base that watched Farke take them up from the championship only to see them spiral toward relegation. According to sources close to the situation, this is a rumor reported by TalkSport. The Leeds hierarchy view O'Neill as an upgrade on Farke specifically because of his Premier League survival credentials, but is trading one struggling manager for another really the solution? Do you think Gary O'Neill is the right man to save Leeds from relegation? Or is this a panic appointment waiting to backfire? Drop your verdict below. And if you believe Farke deserves more time to turn this around, smash that like button and let the board know the fans still back the German. But as massive as that managerial uncertainty is, the next story cuts even deeper. Because while Leeds prepare for potential change in the dugout, a defensive reinforcement plan just leaked. And it confirms one signing has already been written off. Loyalty or ruthlessness? Stay locked. £5 million spent. 1 appearance made. A defender frozen out before he even got started. And now Leeds are already planning his replacement. The player being cast aside, Sebastian Bourneau. The 26-year-old Belgian arrived from VfL Wolfsburg in the summer. And Daniel Farke has given him exactly one chance, a Carabao Cup defeat, to Sheffield Wednesday in August. Since then, nothing. Not a single Premier League minute. Not even a spot on the bench during Leeds' worst defensive run in years. Bourneau has every reason to demand a January exit. And it looks like Leeds are ready to grant it because they've already identified his successor. The target? Chibok Nwaiwu, a 22-year-old Nigerian center-back tearing it up in the Austrian Bundesliga with Wolfsburger. Top Mercato reported on December 1st that Nwaiwu is attracting heavy interest from Ligue 1 giants, including RC Lens, LOSC Lille, Olympique Marseille, Strasbourg, and even Paris Saint-Germain. That's the level of talent Leeds are tracking. But here's the problem. Leeds already have Joe Rodon and Pascal Struijk as their preferred partnership, and Jakob Biegel has also struggled for game time after losing his starting spot following poor displays. So why are Leeds chasing another center back when they've barely used the ones they signed 6 months ago? The answer reveals Farke's philosophy. He values pace, athleticism, and ball-playing ability over experience, and Nwaiwu ticks every box. The Nigerian defender has showcased immense potential in Austria, combining recovery speed with progressive passing. Exactly the profile Leeds need if they're serious about playing out from the back under pressure. But supporters will ask the hard question: if Farke didn't trust Bourneau, Why was he signed in the first place? And if Bijl can't get minutes despite his pedigree, what chance does a 22-year-old from Austria have? According to sources close to the situation, this is a rumor reported by Top Mercato. Leeds are keeping tabs on Yewoo as both a short-term reinforcement and a long-term investment, regardless of whether they stay in the Premier League or drop back to the Championship. That's smart planning if you believe in the player, but it's also an admission that Leeds' summer recruitment didn't work. Do you think Leeds should give Borno a proper chance before chasing new signings? Or is cutting losses early the right move? Drop your take below. And if you believe Farke's transfer record is becoming a serious problem, smash that like button and let the board see the frustration. But as damaging as that defensive chaos is, the next story is even more baffling. Because while Leeds struggle to score goals in the Premier League, a striker on loan is banging them in for a championship rival. And Leeds have nitrogen monoxide plans to bring him back. Loyalty or madness? Stay locked. 9 goals in 18 appearances. A striker in red-hot form, loved by his lone club. And exactly the profile Leeds desperately need right now. The player, Joe Gelhardt. The problem, he's scoring those goals for Hull City, while Leeds sit 18th in the Premier League as one of the worst attacking sides in the division, and according to Hull Live reporter Barry Cooper, Leeds have nitrogen monoxide plans to recall him in January despite having the option. Let that sink in. Leeds are watching Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Lucas Nmecha, and Joel Pirro struggle week after week, and they're refusing to bring back a 23-year-old English striker who's proving he can finish at championship level. It's baffling. Gelhardt joined Hull on loan in the summer after impressing on a temporary spell in the second half of last season, and he's now expressed his delight at the MKM Stadium, making it clear he feels valued there in a way he never did at Elland Road. Cooper told Leeds Live that Leeds have a short window early in January to recall Gelhardt, but at this stage, they have no intention of doing so. Why? Because Daniel Farke doesn't rate him, and the board are backing that decision even as goals dry up. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Leeds initially wanted around £8 million for Gelhardt in the summer, a price Hull considered too steep. But now, with the striker's form exploding, Cooper believes Leeds will have much stronger bargaining power in the market, and will look to command a significant fee when they eventually sell him. Gelhardt only has a year or so left on his Elland Road deal, so the fee won't be huge. But it won't be insignificant either, and Hull will have a genuine chance to sign him permanently based purely on his strength of feeling for the club. According to sources close to the situation, this is reporting from Hull Live's Barry Cooper. Leeds view Gelhardt as a sellable asset rather than a solution to their current goal-scoring crisis. That's the cold reality. Farke would rather persist with misfiring strikers than give a homegrown talent another chance. And if Leeds get relegated because they couldn't score enough goals, supporters will remember this decision. Do you think Leeds are making a massive mistake by not recalling Gelhardt? Or do you trust Farke's judgment on strikers? Drop your take below. And if you believe refusing to recall a 9-goal striker while sitting 18th is madness, smash that like button and let the board feel the pressure. But as painful as that striker situation is, the conclusion ties all 3 stories together. And the final cliffhanger will leave you on the edge. Unity or collapse? Stay locked. 3 stories. 1 crisis. The managerial position is hanging by a thread. The defensive recruitment is already being replaced before it started. And a goal-scoring solution is being ignored while Leeds sink toward relegation. Leeds United doesn't just have a results problem. Leeds United has a decision-making problem. This club just exposed every crack in the system, and supporters are watching it unfold in real time. Let's break down what this means. If Leeds appoint Gary O'Neill, they're gambling on a survival specialist with a worrying overall record, hoping his Bournemouth and Wolves heroics translate to Elland Road under immense pressure. If Leeds sign Chibok Yewoo while Sebastian Borno sits unused, they're admitting their summer recruitment failed and doubling down on young, unproven talent instead of maximizing what they already have. And if Leeds refuse to recall Joe Gelhardt while struggling to score, they're prioritizing future transfer fees over immediate survival, a strategy that could cost them their Premier League status. The math is brutal. Leeds have lost 4 in a row, sit 18th with 3 wins from 13 matches, and face Chelsea next with the board already lining up potential replacements for Farke. Burnley, Luton, and Southampton are all within touching distance, and one more bad result could trigger the sack. The question is, does Gary O'Neill have the tools to save this season? Or is Leeds' fate already sealed? Here's what I need from every single Leeds fan watching. 1. Smash that like if you believe Daniel Farke deserves to be sacked. Or hold it if you think he deserves more time to fix this mess. TWO, drop a comment with your boldest prediction for this season. Are Leeds staying up? Are they going down? Or does a new manager spark a miraculous escape? 3. Subscribe, because every single subscriber makes Manchester United fans furious, and we're about to expose every twist in this relegation battle. But listen closely, here's the edge of the cliff. Gary O'Neill's appointment isn't official yet, and according to insiders, Daniel Farke will be given the Chelsea match on Wednesday night to save his job. One result could change everything. A win against Chelsea and Farke buys himself time. A loss and the sack becomes inevitable within 48 hours. And on top of that, there's a rumor that a senior Leeds player called a private meeting with the board last week. No coaches, no agents, and what was said could either unite the dressing room or confirm the splits that have been whispered about since October. That story drops next. Plus, Hull City are preparing a permanent bid for Joe Gelhardt in the summer, and the fee could fund Leeds' next striker signing if they survive. Who replaces Gelhardt if he leaves? That answer determines Leeds' future. Marching on together, the battle is here. Hit subscribe, stay locked, and let's see if Leeds can claw their way out of this nightmare. We ride together. See you in the next war.